G'day everyone, welcome back. Today I'm just doing a little video on adjusting my handbrake in my four-wheel drive. I normally have to do this probably once a month because I don't know if it's the cable stretching, it probably is, or it's just the 35's giving the handbrake shoes a hard time, but it always comes loose and I end up having to just adjust it. So that's what we're doing today. And yeah, I guess I'll be showing you how to do it at home by yourself. It's pretty easy. You can just, use your common tools. All you need is a 21-inch socket to grip the wheel nuts off, and a couple of hand tools to get the caliper off. I mean, sometimes you don't even need to take the caliper off, but that's what I'll be doing today. Take the rotor off, adjust the little screw that's in there. Well, I'll show you anyway. So let's get to it. So this is what I mean by literally, it barely works, but it works all the way up here, and that's just not okay, especially when you're on a 30-40 degree angle on a hill. Just that's not going to work. But here's a little example. That's not good enough. Also, another thing about this car, I wanted a 6-speed manual, so that's exactly what I got. I got the 6-speed manual version. I didn't want the auto because I'm a big manual guy. Yeah, another thing, this car is very, very dusty. So we will be cleaning the interior of this car just quickly. I won't film too much of that because that's pretty boring. But I will get the snow cannon out and give it a nice bath because it definitely needs it. I've only owned the car for 2 years, but we've done a lot. We've done a lot. But yeah, so the only other thing I missed in my other video about the interior, except for the dirt, is we've got this just little voltage meter. We've got a fire extinguisher down there as well. Fire extinguisher is pretty obvious of why we have it. But the voltmeter is because we've had a fair few problems with alternators in this car. Yes, I know submerging them underwater is not great for an alternator, and any alternator is going to hate you. But a brand new alternator going through a little tiny puddle and then dying is that's a bit ridiculous. So anyway, that's all fixed. That was ages ago. We've got that now. We can keep an eye on it. Yeah, I suppose I probably should get out of the car and jack it up and get into this. You know what? I might actually turn it around because I'll probably have more room. Also, while I was editing my first and only video so far, I noticed my front CV, the CV boot is destroyed. So next video, we'll be putting in new CVs, both sides, and keeping those ones as spares, because it's always good to have spares. I will be buying cheaper CVs. The reason for that is because I don't want to break an expensive CV, and an expensive CV is a lot stronger, which then breaks diffs. So I'd rather break a CV than a diff on the track, that's for sure. I'll show you the damage. So it's not pretty. I actually noticed it while I was editing the other video. I put a little clip in the other video if you watched it of me showing my front suspension. And I guess thank God for editing, otherwise I probably wouldn't have noticed it for a while. While we also do that, well, while I also do the CVs, I will be doing wheel bearings as well, because we've gone through a fair few water crossings and these wheel bearings are starting to get a bit squeaky. May as well replace them while I'm at it. Anyway, that's enough jibber jabber. Let's get into the jacking up the car part and fixing by the handbrake. By the way, can I just say, that is my jack, fully maxed out with a piece of wood. Incredible. Sheesh. And people say these things don't have travel. What is that? Alright, let's get this wheel off. Big Aussie boy. Big Aussie boy. but what I'm going to use for this is I'm just going to use just the toolbox that I have in the car all the time. As again, you don't really need like hectic tools to do this at all. Realistically, all you do need is a 21mm socket, a jack, some jack stands, and a flathead screwdriver to come through. There's a little grommet on the brake rotor, just here. And I'm pretty sure where these adjusters are, they're at the bottom. So if you just turn that to the bottom, you'd be able to get a flathead screwdriver and just pry the little coil that's in there. But I am going to take the calipers off and remove these rotors just to look behind there, check for any mud and stuff, because it'll definitely be dirty. Something will be behind there. Alright, so there's two caliper bolts that hold the caliper onto the knuckle. It's just a 17mm socket. You chuck him on there, make sure he's going the right way, and you give him a smack. And loosen the bottom one. Get the dirt off there, would help. There's one. There's two. Now, the caliper should just come sliding right off. I don't have a zip tie or anything in me right now, so I'm going to chuck it up here. Should be right. Alright, next, make sure your handbrake is off. You should be able to turn it. You might need a little bit of persuasion to get these off. I think I'm going to need a little bit of persuasion to get these off. So I'm going to go get some persuasion. Alright, well, this is a bit more of an aggressive persuasion than I had in mind. Normally I'd definitely use a rubber mallet, but in this case I'm going to use this with some old pair of pants, a rag. Now what you're going to want to do is on the back of the rotor, you just chuck this on the back there so you don't damage your rotor, and just give him a couple taps. Oh, just like that, she's off. And as I predicted, there is a lot of gunk, dirt, and just build up of muddy bog holes. The handbrake shoes are a little low, but they will still do the job. What I'm going to do first is give this a quick clean. Now I'm not aiming to get absolutely everything, but getting it cleaner than it is better than not doing it at all. And voila, good enough. Another little handy trick is to go into your car and go up 2 clicks, so that way it's not too ridiculously tight, because that is a quick way to definitely stretch a cable. Alright, all I'm going to do now is chuck the rotor back on. I figured out which way this needs to go. So these little teeth right here, they need to go up that way, because this whole collar turns, and you see that little thread? This stays stationary, this whole thing turns on that thread and then pushes the brake shoes outwards. I don't have a screwdriver. Can be a bit tricky to find that little cog, but once you get it, just give it a couple turns, give it a check, make sure it's still turning. Put some more. So the way I'm doing this is the driver's side of the car. I'm going up like that, so I'm flicking the gear that way. Alright, see how it's getting really hard to move now? Make sure that I am fully stopped. Yep, that's locked up. Now what you do is just back it off a little bit. So instead of flicking it up like that, you just want to flick it down. So it's spinning the other way. Make sure it turns. And it's got that good. Don't lose this thing like I just did. Alright, now we can chuck the caliper back on. Whenever a caliper is off your vehicle, definitely do not go inside the car and push the brakes. Oh, also, another thing I forgot to mention in my introduction video, tough dog in the rear. Now, in my experience with brake calipers, I do come from a drifting background, so I do know a fair bit about the cars. My experience with calipers, do them up as goddamn tight as you can. And then do it up a little bit more. Because if there's one thing in a car that you want, it's brakes. Alright, now all of that's done, everything's tight. You got your little dust boot thing for your brake rotor. You got your caliper on as tight as you can go. Now this side is done, and we'll go chuck the wheel up. If I can.
G'day guys, I thought I'd jump in while I make this absolutely lovely time lapse for you all, so you don't have to watch the exact same thing I've just done twice. And also, I would like to say that I am overwhelmed with the support I've had so far, and I can't thank you guys enough. It has been absolutely amazing, so thank you. Future videos, I have microphones now, so background noise should not be an issue for the future. And I've now ordered a tripod, so I do not have to lean my phone up against a JJ's bin or a wicker chair, so that's amazing. But yeah, no, thank you so much. The first video did absolutely amazing, more than I could have ever imagined, so thanks.
Alright, so to give this thing just a quick wipe over, my go-to for any of my cars, including outside and inside the car, is Bowden Zone, or Bowden Zone. I don't know how you pronounce it. It goes in both ways, I suppose. We're just going to use a bit of a cockpit quickie, new microfiber, and give it a wipe over. Alright, continue on with the Bowden's theme. Just going to use a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Trust me, you do not need much at all. This one. And then I'm going to bring this bad boy out here. And we're just going to fill him up.
Everything's gonna